Nothing learned, nothing gained. Everything was confirmed, and the left is to be blamed. I just made that up. The most dangerous people are the unstable ones. They are the ones who will hurt people they don't know just for speaking their beliefs, right? Going on to boxing, I mean, I can talk for hours on that crap, but going on to boxing, nothing learned, nothing gained. Terrence Crawford is bigger than Canelo. He's taller, he's wider, he's heavier. Size is size, weight is weight. Pound for pound is based on physical size and weight and skill. He finally fights someone his own size, even though he was a bit bigger. And, the results are what it was. He might have won, he might have lost. You can say tit for tat, even, right? However, he will only fight, in my opinion, Canelo another time before probably retiring or just going on like a Canelo, like, what would you call it? Money parade, as whatever it was that Canelo was doing since 2018, right? Where he was just going on a money run. The Money Mayweather run, right? Where he wasn't really fighting anybody, just collecting checks and being the guy that people love, right? Another thing, Canelo's fights were always shady. That was confirmed. Now, the WBC had made, what was it, two belts that were like one of a kind for every single one of Canelo's fights for September and May for like however many years since. Is it the first time he fought Golovkin was at 2017 or 2018? I'm saying maybe 2018-ish, right? So he's got 14, at least 14 of these belts that were specifically made for him from Mauricio Suleiman, right? And every time they make that belt, you just know he's going to win, whether by hook or crook. The only question was he trying his hardest in them? And if you were to believe that last night's fight on Netflix was a real one, then we saw just how good Canelo was, right? If you believed he was trying his hardest, then he went, tit for tat with Crawford, which, pound for pound wise, we're talking pound for pound wise, where would you place Canelo now if you were to believe that his fights were fake or real? I don't think I ever had him on pound for pound. I mean, well, let me say this, right? So, Canelo, at a certain point, you could have said he was the second best in every division. 154, he was the second best behind Mayweather, right? You wanted to say third behind Laura. Okay, and then at middleweight, you can say that he was the second best behind Golovkin, right? And then when he entered super middleweight, you could have said that he might have been the second best behind Callum Smith. Yeah, if, Callum Smith didn't, in my opinion, take a complete dive, right? Not a dive, he threw the fight. Whatever it was, a sparring match. The issue is, can a guy be liked if he wasn't number one? And the answer is probably not, because a lot of people put who they like as number one without ever having to really prove it, right? And when you're talking about, even for Crawford, I mean, I guess Crawford did prove he was the number one, but there was the size thing, and then the whole level above him, in which he never even tried to enter at the time, where they were all fighting in their, if you wanted to say primes, right? Pacquiao was like 38, going on to 4 years to 42, where after he whooped Keith Thurman, it was like nobody wanted him, right? Probably even before Keith Thurman too. So people forget about Keith Thurman. Even I forgot about him until right now, right? So the question is, was this a sparring match gone wrong, in which you convinced, because Turkey likes to coddle some of these guys who he wants to lose, right? He did this with, I mean, pretty much all of those guys. Like, he has the guy he backs, but he goes to the other side and he tries to reassure them of, I don't want to say it, but then but going before this, like, if you wanted big money, you had to take big fights, right? And with all of these fights where the money is guaranteed, you don't have to take any risks. You don't have to really even challenge the whatever it is. All you have to say is, I'm the highest paid, so I'm the best, or whatever it is, And people will just run along the narratives, because you got a YouTube channel, you got to just start churning out the videos, churning whatever you want. You can't say anything negative. You don't want to go against the algorithms, right? You want to go with the algorithms. You want to ride the ride. You don't want to say the things that would lose viewerships. You want to maximize them. And there's all of you guys who do YouTube, there's like some of you guys don't do YouTube, right? So when you go into your videos, there's an AI thing, and it's been there for a while, where it will suggest the videos to make. It'll give you all of your stats, and it'll tell you to try to increase them, right? And yeah, you can hit that and it'll just make your videos for you, basically, which is fine. It's cool, right? Because the AI it's pretty scary. But again, like, if you thought we're going into Inoue versus Mirjan Akhmadaliev, that fight was on a completely different level, right? But some people would say that Crawford is pound for pound number one, because he fought a guy that was slightly smaller than him. When you watch that fight, did it look like two guys, I'm going to say Inoue and Akhmadaliev, who were pretty much at their best, fighting at their best, and making it happen, versus Canelo versus Crawford, where would you say that was their best, at their best, fighting their best, or was it two aging B-level fighters trying to cash out 2 times before potentially checking out? So on the pound for pound rankings or whatever, I would still have Inoue, as I've always had, above Crawford, right? And again, everybody has their little asterisks around their names or resumes, because you can't always just fight the big fights every single time. But with Inoue, it seems like he is, right? He's trying to make the best that he can, because it's hard to say whether or not his stuff is guaranteed or not. and it's kind of like what I've been trying to allude to the last 2 or 3 videos, right? Where, the pressure to perform and all of this stuff, to make what you're getting. And it's just confirming, just saying that, alright, the conclusion would be to, because I'm losing my train of thought, the conclusion is that we didn't learn anything new. Everything was there. People just weren't saying it because they were too scared of the algorithms and whatever it is. But some people, I mean, we'll give it to them. You stuck with your guy, and you stuck with your guy, right? Which is completely fine too. But again, I don't think we learned anything new. Like, some of these people were saying how small Crawford was and all of this stuff. Like, he looked the same, right? He looked the same exact size. He was just finally put in there with someone that was his own, close to his own. Even if you look back on one of my previous videos, where even after the fight was over, I said Crawford was way too big for Errol Spence. Errol Spence was shot, right? So, but I mean, we were just talking about the size. Thanks for watching.